My wife sent me a single WhatsApp message on our wedding anniversary. "I'm marrying someone else. Sign the papers." That's how she ended our 15-year marriage. But she didn't know one thing. When she sent that message, I had already made the move that would destroy her plan. My name is David Mitchell. I'm 42 years old. I've been married to Rebecca for 15 years. I'm a successful financial advisor, and Rebecca is a real estate agent. We looked like the perfect couple from the outside. Two professionals, beautiful house in the suburbs, successful careers. But for the last 6 months, something had been off. Rebecca started coming home late, always claiming she had client meetings. She became protective of her phone, taking it everywhere, even to the bathroom. Our conversations became superficial. When I tried to discuss our future plans, she would change the subject. At first, I thought it was work stress. The real estate market had been competitive, and Rebecca was always ambitious. But the signs were too obvious to ignore. 3 months ago, everything changed. Rebecca left her phone on the kitchen counter while she shouldered. I wasn't the type to snoop, but a message notification caught my eye. It was from someone named Marcus. "Can't wait to see you tonight, beautiful." My heart sank. I knew Marcus Thompson. He was Rebecca's business partner at the real estate firm. Tall, charming, younger than me. Everything I apparently wasn't anymore. That night, I confronted Rebecca about the message. "It's just business, David. Marcus and I are working on a big deal together. These late meetings are about closing properties." She seemed sincere, but something in her eyes told me she was lying. The next few weeks, I paid closer attention. Rebecca's behavior became more suspicious. She would step outside to take phone calls. She started going on business trips that never appeared on her work calendar. I made a decision that would save my life. I hired a private investigator. Jake Sullivan was a former cop with 20 years of experience. I felt guilty doing it, but I needed to know the truth. 2 weeks later, Jake called me with devastating news. Rebecca was having an affair with Marcus Thompson. They'd been meeting at the Marriott downtown every Tuesday and Thursday for the past 2 months. My world crumbled. 15 years of marriage, and this is how it ends. But Jake wasn't finished. This wasn't just an affair, they were planning something bigger. He handed me a folder full of photographs, audio recordings, and bank statements. They were planning to financially destroy me. Rebecca and Marcus had been systematically transferring money from our joint accounts. They'd also been gathering information about my client portfolio. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Marcus had been convincing Rebecca that I was the problem in the marriage. He was telling her that she deserved better, that she should take everything and start fresh with him. Jake showed me bank records. Over the past 3 months, Rebecca had withdrawn $75,000 from our joint savings account. Small amounts at first, then larger sums. They were planning to drain my accounts, sell the house while I was out of town on business, and disappear together. Marcus had been feeding Rebecca information about how to hide assets in divorce proceedings. I felt sick. The woman I loved for 15 years was not only cheating on me, but actively working to destroy my financial future. Jake continued with more shocking news. Marcus wasn't just Rebecca's lover. He was using her. He had gambling debts totaling $200,000. He needed Rebecca's money and access to my assets to pay off some dangerous people. This was worse than I imagined. Rebecca thought she was running away with her soulmate, but she was actually being manipulated by a desperate man with serious problems. That night, I made the most important decision of my life. Instead of confronting Rebecca immediately, I would beat them at their own game. The next morning, I called my lawyer, Patricia Chen. Patricia specialized in complex divorces and asset protection. I explained the situation, and she was thorough and strategic. We needed to move quickly but carefully. If Rebecca was planning financial sabotage, We needed to document everything and protect my assets. Over the next week, Patricia and I worked on a comprehensive plan. We opened new bank accounts in my name only. I began transferring my salary and investment returns to these protected accounts. We documented all of Rebecca's suspicious financial activities. Every withdrawal, every transfer, every unusual transaction was recorded. We prepared divorce papers that would protect my business and client relationships. If Rebecca was planning to steal my client information, we needed legal safeguards. We set up surveillance on Rebecca and Marcus. Jake continued monitoring their activities, gathering evidence of their conspiracy. Meanwhile, I continued acting normal at home. I didn't want Rebecca to suspect that I knew about her plans. The hardest part was pretending everything was fine. Every kiss goodnight felt like betrayal. Every I love you was a lie from both sides. 2 weeks later, Jake brought me explosive evidence. Rebecca and Marcus were planning to execute their plan on our wedding anniversary. They thought it was poetic justice. He showed me audio recordings from their hotel meetings. Rebecca and Marcus discussed sending me the divorce message on anniversary morning. While I processed the shock, they would transfer the remaining joint account funds and put the house on the market. Marcus mentioned his contact at the bank would expedite the transfers. I was disgusted but also grateful. Knowing their timeline allowed me to prepare my counterattack. The night before our anniversary, Rebecca acted strangely affectionate. She cooked my favorite dinner, opened an expensive bottle of wine, and even suggested we renew our vows next year. It was all performance. She was saying goodbye without me knowing it. That night, while Rebecca slept beside me, I finalized my plan with Patricia via encrypted messages. Everything was ready. Tomorrow morning I would execute phase 1 immediately after receiving Rebecca's message. I barely slept. 15 years of marriage would end in a few hours, but I was ready. Anniversary morning arrived. Rebecca woke up early, claimed she had an urgent client meeting, and left the house by 7 a.m. At 9:15 a.m., my phone buzzed. "I'm marrying someone else. Sign the papers. I've moved out. Don't try to contact me." I stared at the message for a moment, then smiled. Time for phase 1. I immediately called Patricia and told her it was happening. Within an hour, several things occurred simultaneously. Patricia filed emergency court documents requesting asset protection and temporary restraining orders against Rebecca accessing our joint accounts. I contacted my bank and froze all joint accounts, preventing any further unauthorized transfers. Jake delivered a comprehensive evidence package to the district attorney's office. Rebecca and Marcus were now under investigation for conspiracy and financial fraud. I sent a message to Rebecca's real estate firm, informing them of the potential criminal activity involving 2 of their agents. By noon, Rebecca called me frantically asking what I had done and why she couldn't access our accounts. I told her I knew about Marcus, about their plan, and about the money she'd stolen. After she denied everything, I revealed I had recordings, bank records, and photographs of their conspiracy. Her voice became desperate as she tried to explain, but I cut her off. "You've been stealing from me while planning to destroy my life, but you made one mistake." "What mistake?" "You underestimated me." I hung up. An hour later, Marcus called claiming this was just business and that Rebecca deserved better. I informed him about the criminal charges he was facing and asked if Rebecca knew about his gambling debts. His confidence evaporated when I mentioned the $200,000 he owed to dangerous people. I explained that Rebecca thought he loved her, but he was just using her to pay off his debts. When she found out, she'd realized she threw away 15 years for nothing. Marcus hung up. By evening, the full scope of my counterattack became clear. Rebecca and Marcus were both arrested for conspiracy and financial fraud. The evidence Jake gathered was overwhelming. Rebecca's real estate license was suspended pending investigation. Marcus lost his job and faced potential criminal charges. The money Rebecca had stolen was recovered and returned to our accounts. The house remained secure under my name. During the investigation, Rebecca discovered Marcus's gambling problem and the real reason he pursued her. She realized she had been manipulated from the beginning. Rebecca called me from jail, crying. "David, I'm so sorry. I didn't know about Marcus's debts. He told me you were controlling and manipulative. He said I deserved better." "Rebecca, you chose to believe him over 15 years of marriage. You chose to steal from me and plan my destruction. I was confused. I thought I was in love. You were in love with a lie." The divorce proceedings were swift. With evidence of Rebecca's financial fraud and infidelity, I retained the house, most of our assets, and my business. Rebecca served 6 months in minimum security prison for financial fraud. Marcus received 2 years for conspiracy and multiple financial crimes. After her release, Rebecca tried to rebuild her life, but her reputation in the real estate industry was destroyed. Marcus, meanwhile, still owed money to dangerous people. His legal troubles were just the beginning of his problems. I sold the house and moved to a different city, started fresh with a new financial planning practice. The experience taught me valuable lessons about trust and vigilance. Rebecca's betrayal hurt deeply, but her miscalculation saved my financial future. 6 months later, I received a letter from Rebecca expressing regret and acknowledging she had destroyed the best thing in her life for a man who was using her. She lost everything because of her choices and hoped I could find happiness with someone who deserved me. I read the letter once and threw it away, but the story wasn't over yet. 3 months after Rebecca's release, I received a call from Jake. Marcus was out of prison and looking for Rebecca. He blamed her for his downfall and believed she should have been smarter about hiding their activities. His gambling debts had grown during his prison sentence, and he was desperate. Jake had been monitoring Marcus as a precaution and warned me that Marcus was asking around about Rebecca's whereabouts. The people he owed money to were pressuring him. He thought Rebecca still had access to money. I felt a strange mix of concern and indifference. Rebecca had betrayed me, but I didn't want her to be in physical danger. I decided to send Rebecca one final message. "Marcus is looking for you. He blames you for his problems. Be careful." Rebecca responded immediately. "Thank you for warning me. I know I don't deserve your kindness after what I did." 2 weeks later, I saw a news report that made my blood run cold. Marcus had been found dead in his apartment, apparently killed by the people he owed money to. The gambling debts had finally caught up with him. Rebecca called me that evening, sobbing. "David, I saw the news about Marcus. I could have been with him when it happened. You saved my life by helping me see who he really was." I remained silent. "I know you'll never forgive me, but I want you to know that your revenge taught me something important. Sometimes the person we think is saving us is actually destroying us." After that conversation, I never heard from Rebecca again. I learned later that she had moved across the country and started working as a secretary using her middle name. Her real estate career was over, but she was alive and learning to live with the consequences of her choices. As for me, I eventually met someone new. Sarah was a lawyer, intelligent and honest. When I told her my story, she understood why trust came slowly for me. 2 years later, Sarah and I got married. This time I knew the difference between love and manipulation. The anniversary that was supposed to destroy my life actually saved it. Rebecca's betrayal led me to someone who truly deserved my love. Sometimes the worst thing that happens to you becomes the best thing that could have happened. Some betrayals are unforgivable. Some mistakes are too costly to reverse. Rebecca thought she was planning the perfect crime, but she never realized she was the victim of her own deception. The anniversary message that was supposed to destroy me became the beginning of my new life. Sometimes the best revenge is simply being prepared for other people's worst intentions. Rebecca learned that the hard way.